At 1200 degrees Celsius, molten lava rages just 100 feet away, and volcano researchers work, sleep, and survive in its deadly shadow. More than 30 scientists have been killed since 1900, like David Johnston at Mount St. Helens, whose final message was simply, "This is it." Why are these experts willing to risk everything, and what does it take to face devastation up close? The true story is more dangerous and vital than you think. A typical day for a volcano researcher begins before sunrise, with equipment checks and a briefing on the latest seismic readings. The worksite is often just a stone's throw from active lava, where the ground radiates intense heat and toxic gases drift on the wind. The first task is collecting lava samples. Using long metal rods and heavy hammers, researchers approach the edge of a flow, timing each move to avoid sudden surges or collapsing crust. The rods are plunged into the molten rock, then quickly withdrawn, each sample cooling and hardening within seconds. Next comes the installation of seismic monitoring gear. Carrying bulky boxes and cables, teams climb unstable slopes to place sensors inside the crater. These instruments record the faintest tremors, sometimes as small as magnitude 0.1, offering early warnings of shifting magma below. Gas sampling is a delicate operation. Researchers move to fumaroles, where volcanic gases escape from vents. Outfitted with portable detectors and glass vials, they measure sulfur dioxide and other emissions, often exceeding 1,000 tons per day. Breathing masks are essential here, as a single breath of unfiltered gas can cause instant harm. Thermal readings are taken with infrared cameras and handheld sensors, mapping temperature gradients across the lava field. Even a few feet from the flow, the difference between safe ground and lethal heat can be razor thin. Drilling into cooled rock near active vents provides core samples for later analysis, revealing the volcano's recent history layer by layer. Some days, the team boards a helicopter to fly through ash plumes, collecting airborne particles and capturing real-time data from above. Each operation is tightly choreographed, balancing the need for scientific precision with the constant threat of sudden change. Every task, from hammering at the lava's edge to hovering in a plume, is a calculated risk, driven by the need to understand the world's most unpredictable forces. Nyiragongo in the Democratic Republic of Congo dominates the skyline with a massive crater and the world's largest lava lake. Here, the ground can fracture without warning, and the lava itself moves faster than any on Earth, surging at speeds up to 60 miles per hour. In 1977, one eruption killed over 600 people in less than half an hour. Researchers descend by rope and harness, sometimes hundreds of feet down the crater wall, risking landslides and sudden gas bursts to reach the lake's edge. Local observatory staff, like Dr. Jean-Baptiste Kasereka, keep a constant watch, tracking seismic shifts and warning signs from a small outpost on the rim. Erta Ale in the Danakil Depression of Ethiopia offers no relief from danger. Scientists camp on the crater rim, exposed to temperature swings that reach 120 degrees Fahrenheit by day and drop to near freezing at night. The air is thick with acidic gases, and wind can change direction in seconds, sending clouds of sulfur across the tents. Every hour, teams check gas monitors and water supplies, rationing both to endure the relentless environment. On Stromboli, off Italy's southern coast, the ground shakes with eruptions every 15 to 20 minutes. Volcanic bombs, glowing chunks of rock, are launched at 400 miles per hour, landing unpredictably near research stations. Scientists install portable sensors between blasts, always watching the summit for the next eruption. Kilauea in Hawaii, the most active volcano on Earth, erupted almost non-stop from 1983 to 2018. Researchers here walk on lava that cooled only hours before, measuring gas plumes and ground temperatures that can still melt aluminum. The risk of ground collapse or hidden lava tubes is ever present, making every step a calculated decision. Survival for volcano researchers depends on gear engineered to withstand extremes that would destroy ordinary equipment in seconds. The silver suits worn near active lava flows are made from aluminized glass fabric, reflecting up to 95% of radiant heat. Even so, These proximity suits only buy minutes of safety when working close to molten rock at 1200 degrees Celsius. Helmets with gold-coated visors shield faces from both heat and flying debris, while gloves lined with Nomex and Kevlar are rated to withstand temperatures near 1000 degrees Fahrenheit. Boots are reinforced, but field reports describe soles melting or delaminating after repeated exposure to ground temperatures that can reach 700 degrees, hot enough to liquefy aluminum. Breathing is never taken for granted. Multi-filter respirators protect against sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and volcanic ash, but in high concentrations, filters can clog or fail in under an hour. For the most hazardous gas plumes, some teams use full self-contained breathing apparatus, sacrificing mobility for survival. Science happens in seconds. Cospec spectrometers, mounted on tripods or slung from backpacks, record sulfur dioxide emissions at rates over 1,000 tons per day. Thermal cameras, sensitive to changes as small as 0.1 degrees Celsius, map shifting heat patterns across the crater rim. Drones, sometimes costing over $50,000, are flown directly into ash plumes or over lava lakes, capturing data until their casings melt or electronics fail. Every piece of gear is expendable. The limits of technology are tested daily, and often the hazards push beyond what even the best equipment can bear. June 3, 1991, stands as a grim reminder of the limits of expertise and equipment. At Mount Unzen in Japan, Katia and Maurice Kraft, along with American volcanologist Harry Glicken and 40 others, were stationed in a river valley mapped as a probable danger zone. That afternoon, a pyroclastic flow burst from the summit, funneled down the Mizunashi River channel, and struck the observation site at speeds estimated between 100 and 200 kilometers per hour. Some surge clouds reaching 180 kilometers per hour or 112 miles per hour. The temperature of the flow likely exceeded 700 degrees Celsius, hot enough to kill in seconds. Most victims were found in running positions, overcome by thermal shock and asphyxiation before they could escape. No amount of planning or experience could outrun the black wind of superheated ash and gas. The 2014 eruption of Mount Ontake in Japan brought another lesson in unpredictability. 63 people, including researchers, were caught by a sudden explosion with no warning from seismic instruments. Ash and hot gas swept over hiking trails, leaving little chance for survival. Pyroclastic flows can travel up to 450 miles per hour and reach temperatures of 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. Lahar's volcanic mudflows move at over 50 miles per hour, swallowing everything in their path. Ground collapse into hidden lava tubes and pockets of toxic gas that cause instant unconsciousness are ever-present threats. In the field, death can arrive in a flash, even for those who have mapped every risk. The history of volcanology is written with the names of those who faced these forces and sometimes paid the ultimate price. Evacuations on the scale of Mount Pinatubo in 1991 have saved more than 60,000 lives in a single event, an outcome made possible by precise monitoring and rapid decision-making under pressure. At Merapi in Indonesia, ongoing surveillance and alert systems protect hundreds each year from sudden eruptions. In Iceland, early warnings enable entire towns to evacuate and allow air traffic to reroute, preventing disasters on the ground and in the sky. Globally, nearly 800 million people live within reach of an active volcano, their safety tied to the vigilance of researchers who track every tremor and gas spike. The impact of volcanic activity extends far beyond local communities. The 1815 Tambora eruption cooled the planet by 3 degrees Fahrenheit, leading to worldwide crop failures and tens of thousands of deaths. Yet the path to becoming a volcanologist is long. 8 to 10 years of specialized study, fieldwork, and advanced training. Most earn between $45,000 and $120,000 a year, risking their lives for salaries that rarely reflect the stakes. The commitment is driven by a sense of responsibility that outweighs personal reward, as each warning delivered and evacuation ordered stands as proof of lives protected. Harun Taziev's descent into Nyiragongo's crater in 1971 stands as one of the most daring acts in scientific history. Relying on steel cables and climbing gear, Taziev and his team dropped nearly 1,000 feet into the fuming abyss, inching toward the world's largest lava lake. Their suits, made from asbestos and wool, offered little protection by today's standards. Gas masks and oxygen canisters gave only minutes of relief from the choking sulfur. Archival film captures Taziev's silhouette framed against the orange glow, so close that volcanic heat warped his camera lens and forced a retreat. More than 4 decades later, a new generation pushed the limits at Marum Crater in Vanuatu. In 2017, a researcher was lowered by winch 1,200 feet into the volcano, suspended just 100 feet above a boiling lava lake. Modern proximity suits and self-contained breathing gear allowed only brief exposure before the heat and gases forced extraction. Drones, some lost to melting circuits, stream footage in real time, offering a view once thought impossible. In 2015, the first drone captured live video inside an erupting volcano at Kilauea. Its flight ended with the drone destroyed by heat, but the data it sent back opened a new frontier for volcano science, one where technology risks destruction for a single glimpse of Earth's raw power. Over 30 volcanologists have lost their lives to eruption since 1900, a stark reminder of the dangers these scientists face. This documentary has shown how researchers collect samples, install seismic equipment, and sleep just 100 feet from molten lava at 1,200 degrees Celsius, using gear that reflects 95% of radiant heat and withstands ground temperatures hot enough to melt aluminum. Despite these advances, events like the 1980 Mount St. Helens eruption and the loss of the crafts at Unzen show that technology cannot eliminate all risks. Many questions remain, from the unpredictable nature of sudden eruptions to the limits of forecasting systems. Facts highlighted by the 2014 Ontake tragedy, which offered no warning. Today, over 800 million people live near active volcanoes, and early warnings have saved tens of thousands of lives worldwide. The work of volcano researchers continues to protect communities and deepen our understanding of the planet, even as the full power of volcanoes remains impossible to predict.